US market brief is here, sharp, short, and to the point. Subscribe now and like to support us and never miss a market move. Here are the brief highlights of today's top stories. Potential Trump tariff refund bill could top $1 trillion as Supreme Court fight looms. Performative or pragmatic? Why Boeing planes feature so much in Trump trade deals. Nebius shares soar 49% in premarket trading on multi-billion AI infrastructure deal with Microsoft. AI firm Mistral valued at $14 billion as chip giant ASML takes major stake. France's political crisis deepens as another PM is axed. Here's what happens next. India urges BRICS to tackle deficits as bloc rallies against US tariffs. Legacy car brands launch a product blitz to take the fight to China. Anglo American shares surge 8% on merger of equals with Canada's Teck resources. Here's how to get a better mortgage rate as the 30-year fixed nears a one-year low. Trump raised the SALT deduction cap to $40,000. Here's what it means for taxpayers. Jim Cramer reviews recent Wall Street fears that were overblown. Ex-Meta employee files whistleblower suit for alleged security flaws at WhatsApp. Asia-Pacific markets trade mixed after Wall Street gains on tech rally. What to know about the Hyundai-LG plant immigration raid in Georgia. Trump Epstein letter and drawing from birthday book released. Now, let's dive deeper into the details. The United States government has collected billions from President Trump's tariffs.
These funds might be refunded if the Supreme Court deems the tariffs illegal.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent estimates potential refunds between $750 billion and $1 trillion.
This includes over $72 billion already collected, plus projected revenue.
Bessent urged the Supreme Court for a swift ruling to minimize potential refunds.
He believes the tariffs are legal and expects the court to uphold them.
However, two lower courts have ruled against the tariffs.
Bessent admitted refunds would be necessary if the Supreme Court sides with lower courts.
President Trump frequently includes Boeing aircraft in trade deals.
This pattern emerged after tariffs were announced in April.
Countries making trade deals with the United States often announce large Boeing orders.
For example, Korean Air ordered 103 Boeing aircraft during President Lee Jae-myung's visit.
Japan also ordered 100 Boeing jets as part of its trade deal.
Even smaller economies like Malaysia, Indonesia, and Cambodia have included Boeing purchases.
The United Kingdom also placed a large order for Boeing aircraft.
Boeing aircraft are highly visible and represent significant trade value.
Nebius provides graphics processing units for training artificial intelligence models.
The artificial intelligence infrastructure firm saw its stock soar in United States premarket trading Tuesday after announcing a multi-billion-dollar deal with Microsoft.
Nebius stock was up 49% at 5:03 a.m. Eastern Time.
The Amsterdam-based firm secured a multi-year deal with Microsoft worth $19.4 billion.
This deal provides cloud computing power for artificial intelligence workloads.
Nebius was spun out from Russian internet giant Yandex in 2023.
The deal will bring $17.4 billion to Nebius through 2031.
Nebius shares also climbed 60% Monday in extended trading.
NVIDIA-backed Mistral AI achieved a $14 billion valuation in a Series C funding round.
Dutch chip equipment maker ASML secured a major stake in the French firm.
ASML invested €1.3 billion, becoming a lead investor with an 11% share.
Existing investors like NVIDIA, DST Global, and Andreessen Horowitz also participated.
This funding round more than doubles Mistral's previous valuation of €5.8 billion.
Mistral is considered a European rival to OpenAI and develops large language models.
These models are the foundation of AI applications like chatbots.
Mistral aims to compete with OpenAI and China's DeepSeek.
France was thrown into political chaos after another prime minister was ousted.
Prime Minister François Bayrou lost a confidence vote on Monday.
The vote was 364 against the government and 194 in favor.
Bayrou failed to gain support for the 2026 budget plans.
The budget aimed to reduce the country's budget deficit.
The deficit is currently 5.8% of gross domestic product.
Bayrou planned €44 billion in cuts.
Financial markets reacted calmly to the news.
India urged BRICS nations to address trade imbalances.
The bloc met to discuss United States President Donald Trump's tariffs.
India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar noted India's largest trade deficits are with BRICS partners.
Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa are key members of BRICS.
Jaishankar represented India in place of Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Modi attended the Shanghai Cooperation Organization summit in China.
India's focus on trade contrasted with Brazil's criticism of United States policies.
China also criticized United States trade policies.
European automakers are launching new products to compete with Chinese rivals.
Volkswagen and BMW revealed new electric vehicles ahead of the IAA Mobility Conference in Munich.
Volkswagen showcased the ID. Cross-concept car, focusing on electromobility.
BMW premiered the X3 sports utility vehicle with advanced computer systems.
Renault launched the new Clio and the electric Renault 5 Turbo 3e.
These launches aim to maintain European market share and address declining sales in China.
European automakers face challenges like rising costs, tariffs, and supply chain issues.
Volkswagen and BMW are targeting the European market with their new models.
Anglo American shares surged 8% following a proposed merger with Canada's Teck resources.
This news boosted European stocks, with the pan-European stocks 600 rising slightly.
London-listed Anglo American shares jumped 8% after the merger announcement.
The merger will create one of the world's top 5 copper producers.
The new company will be called Anglo Teck and headquartered in Canada.
It will be listed on exchanges in New York, Toronto, London, and Johannesburg.
Anglo American shareholders will own 62.4% of the combined entity.
Teck Resources shareholders will hold the remaining 37.6%.
The average 30-year fixed mortgage rate saw its largest single-day decrease in over a year on Friday.
While rates are at their lowest since October, the average is still around 6.29%, significantly higher than the sub-3% rates at the pandemic's start.
Experts say there are ways to secure better terms on a home loan.
A potential Federal Reserve interest rate cut on September 17 could provide some relief for prospective homebuyers.
Though 15 and 30-year mortgage rates are fixed, cuts to the Federal Reserve's target rate might exert downward pressure.
Consumers should consider 6% as the new normal through early next year.
Regardless of market trends, buyers have some influence over their rates.
Improving your credit score is crucial, as it directly impacts the rates you qualify for.
President Donald Trump raised the state and local tax deduction, known as SALT, to $40,000 for 2025.
This change comes less than a decade after a cap was placed on this tax break.
Taxpayers who itemize can claim the SALT deduction, which includes state and local income and property taxes.
Trump previously capped SALT at $10,000 in his 2017 legislation.
Before 2018, the deduction was unlimited.
Representative Mike Lawler led the push for the higher cap.
Congress introduced an unlimited state and local tax deduction in 1913.
Republicans capped these deductions in 2017 to help pay for other tax breaks.
CNBC's Jim Cramer reviewed Wall Street's overblown fears.
He noted that market negativity is often overhyped.
Cramer focused on negative theories about tech companies like Alphabet.
Investors worried about a forced breakup due to the Department of Justice's monopoly ruling.
However, the stock jumped after a judge ruled against divesting its search business.
Amazon and Apple also faced negative theories, but their shares recovered.
Some feared Amazon Web Services was falling behind Microsoft Azure.
But the market shifted focus to Amazon Prime's potential revenue growth.
A former Meta employee sued the company over alleged security flaws in WhatsApp.
The lawsuit claims these flaws compromised user privacy and violated federal laws.
Atul Beg, WhatsApp's former head of security, alleges Meta retaliated against him after he reported these issues.
Beg claims 1,500 WhatsApp engineers had unrestricted access to sensitive user data.
Meta denies these allegations and questions Beg's role and performance.
The company says this is a common tactic by disgruntled former employees.
Beg alleges WhatsApp failed to maintain adequate security measures for its size.
He also claims the company lacked systems to monitor user data access.
Asia-Pacific markets traded mixed Tuesday after Wall Street gains on a technology rally.
Japan's benchmark Nikkei 225 reversed course to lose 0.42%, closing at 43,459.29 after hitting a record high earlier in the day.
This followed Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba's announcement of his resignation Sunday.
The Topix retreated 0.51% to 3,122.12.
Investors are betting that the next leader from the ruling Liberal Democratic Party could unleash a new wave of fiscal stimulus to bolster the economy.
While near-term volatility is expected to pick up amid political uncertainties, The upcoming change ultimately provides for greater longer-term policy and political stability.
It also provides a more conducive pro-growth environment for the equities market.
The Japanese yen strengthened 0.2% to 147.22 against the United States dollar.
Federal agents arrested 475 people at a Hyundai plant in Elabel, Georgia.
The raid investigated alleged unlawful employment practices.
Over 300 of those arrested were South Korean nationals.
South Korea is working to return its detained citizens.
Authorities stated the arrested individuals were working or living in the United States illegally.
Hyundai said it is committed to complying with all laws and regulations.
This was the Department of Homeland Security's largest single-site enforcement operation.
The Georgia plant is a joint venture between Hyundai and LG Energy Solution.
House Democrats released a screenshot of a letter seemingly signed by President Donald Trump.
This letter was part of a collection of notes for Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday in 2003.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt claims the drawing proves the birthday card story false.
She stated President Trump did not draw or sign the picture.
Leavitt added that Trump's legal team will continue pursuing litigation.
Deputy White House Chief of Staff Taylor Budovic also claimed the signature is not Trump's.
He compared it to recent Trump signatures to suggest they do not match.
However, Trump's signature has changed over time.
That's a wrap on this episode of US Market Brief. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next time with more stock market updates, earnings highlights, and insights from Wall Street.